It's Tony G with KM Radio, Big Lou, the sports book. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Lots to talk about. A lot of gambling, a lot of sports. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank Big Lou. A lot of great. I mean, there was some depth. There was a couple of overs that were the Oregon, Michigan going into college. Somebody gave me that one. That was a good one. The Penn State game. Penn State folded. I mean, they played a great. They played a great team. Because they were ranked number 3. And I'm going. Am I going crazy? Oh, they were ranked number 3. Ohio State was number 4. Ohio State squeezed it out. Really good football game. Any other? South Carolina beating Texas A&M. That was an upset. You had that.
Yes.
That was a heck of a pick. Plus. Let me see. And there was one more that we took the. Let me see. Michigan, Oregon got the over. The Penn State that was on the under. Miami destroyed Duke. Tennessee, Kentucky. Got some good college ball coming up this week. Want to congratulate the Los Angeles Rams for winning the World Series. We were on after.
Gotcha.
Tuesday they closed it out. Heck of a series. They're saying Soto is might get a bid for $700 million. That's unbelievable to me. It'd be the highest. I said, man, in 10 years we're talking about there'll be $1 billion contract. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's just hard for me to fathom.
Let your kids grow up to be baseball players. I mean, contracts guaranteed, and man, should have thought about my sports.
Should have been right. Going in, we got so much to talk about. We got to cover the games.
Right.
Going in. We usually start off with the Thursday game every week. We're going to start off with so much news. New Orleans Saints fire their coach. Carr's ruffling up some feathers, going back and forth on some tweets with Michael Thomas. Your thoughts? Good move, bad move? Was the coach the scapegoat?
I mean, I say it's a good move because of the fact that but there was a lot of injuries too. And sometimes coaches get let go, and it's really not their fault that a lot of players got hurt this year. Me personally, I tag that on to the lack of preseason games, but that's another argument for another show. Of course, the head coach got to follow the sword. They won 2 games and nothing for the rest of the season. It's only getting further in the season, and when you lose to Carolina, which is supposedly the worst team in the league, and then you come in and you lose. But like I said, they're in their division, and regardless of what Carolina's record is, they come to play regardless. Especially because the people that you play in your division. But it definitely, though them losing that game definitely got the head coach fired. And it'll be interesting to see who they bring in to turn it around, or do they look for a new young face to change up things there? I think there's still a Drew Brees hangover. Derek Carr doesn't get rid of the ball as fast as Drew Brees does. It's a 3 to 5 second deal with them. It takes a little longer, and there has to be a change. And I do believe that there's going to be a quarterback change as well. I don't think they're taking. I I don't think they're taking it well with Derek Carr. Inconsistency. Because when he's on, he looks just as good as the rest of them, but it's just he can't get that game after game after game. You'll get it for 2 games, then he drops. Or you get it a game,
Yeah.
then he drops. So it's the inconsistency of Derek Carr as opposed to, you know, some of the comments that he's made and how he treats some players. You're not on that. They feel like, okay, we played with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, so or that's right up there with him. So that's my take on it. Somebody had to fall on the sword. Had to be the head coach. I think they was going to get rid of him next season anyway. But with them losing to Carolina like that, and they hadn't won a game in a while, it was time. It's time to shake it up. It's time to go.
Well, some interesting stats on that game was Carr came back. He had, I mean, he had one TD, 236 yards. Wasn't like he
Right.
didn't have. Wasn't like he had a bad day. Kamar ran for 155 yards. Gangster day. Just a lot of other mistakes. They're just not playing well as a team.
No.
Um, I mean, because if you have a running back that ran for 155 yards, you should have been in total dominance of this game. Just didn't work out. Yeah, Carr may not be a good fit. I mean, like I said, at times we've seen him and we said, "Wow, looks really, really good."
Mhm.
And then there's other times where he's pointing the finger, blaming. I don't know. I mean, it just not
Right.
living up to the quarterback. The quarterback. Let me tell you something. Being a quarterback is like being the president. You get all the credit, and you got to take
Mhm.
all the fault.
You got to take all the blame. Yeah.
That's it. It kind of works that way. So, yeah, I mean, there'll be some changes. I mean, you got to look at the good news is they're going to get a bunch of draft choices, and I think next year they start cutting off of some of the Drew Brees cap that they've been moving around. So hopefully that'll
Mhm.
move them in the right direction. The
Right.
Thursday night game was a surprise. The Jets coming out and beating the Texans, but
Yes.
yes, but and he just didn't have anybody to throw to. Both his wide receivers are gone. The
Mhm.
offense is not. It's stuttering. He's got uh, Diggs is gone. He's out for the year. Diggs
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
out for the
Diggs
year.
is done. He's done for the year, which is unfortunate for them because I felt like they need Diggs to get into that final four of the AFC.
Yeah, I
But
totally I agree. 21-13. It was a Thursday night game.
mhm.
Um, the under in the house. First game Sunday. We're going this first game on our list. Dallas Cowboys. Uh, Dak is out with an ACL. Who really
Mhm.
didn't have a bad. He didn't have a bad game. 133, one TD. Cooper Rush came in, almost matched his. Not exactly 115, one TD. Kirk
Mhm.
Cousins, 222 yards, three TDs.
Mhm.
Um, they just, what I mean. I mean, the Cowboys made it
They-
close later.
yeah,
Um,
but that defense just Atlanta's defense really showed up last week.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was impressed. I was impressed with their play, and they couldn't do nothing with their running back either.
no.
They couldn't do nothing with him. So
So I think Atlanta's got a good young defense. Got some rising stars on um, offensive side of the ball. Got some studs. Um, the problem with Dallas is they're just in disarray. They have a lot of injuries, and this is and I'm saying this to say this: when the press shoves it down your throat so much, people when you fail, everybody cheers, and that's kind of what it is. Every year we're winning the Super Bowl. Them guys are great athletes. Stack's a great athlete. Parsons, they're just in disarray right now. Now it's time to try to figure out what we're really made out of. You know what I mean? Because it's easy
right,
to collapse when like Mike Tyson always says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face, and then
mhm,
that's when the real plan comes in. But
right,
right now, I mean, I watched the video of Dak saying we suck. I don't know if
Yeah,
you saw
yeah,
that. Yeah,
I saw that. I saw that. You can read it plain as day. And it's a collective. It's a collective. Bad play, injuries, coaching on both sides. You
yep.
know, I think as a coach, I think Mike McCarthy has. I think he's capped off. He really needs a young, fresh-minded offensive coordinator to take those duties away from him, so he could just general manage,
Yeah.
as opposed to calling plays and things of that nature. No, it seems like he's behind the game. It seems like the game is running a little bit faster than he is because he can't come up with anything clever, or his decision making in crucial times. I feel like this far, and mistakes are going to happen. You're going to have penalties, but I feel like this far in the season, you shouldn't get too many, you know, offside penalties and look, ticky tack penalties that will cost you, and it's
10
discipline.
men, 10 men on the field, one play, 12 men on the field for another play
Right,
represents poorly disciplined team. But, the thing is not, and I know people take it as criticism. The ball
hmm
was dropped, no pun intended. The ball was dropped 10 months ago when Jerry
right,
Jones did not run and go get Dak and go get the wide receiver and bring him in, sign them early, and could have saved $25 million. Because I really think if they would have went, and I'm not like I said, Dak got paid what he should have got paid because
right,
that's the nature of the beast. But I think if they would have went to him like they should have and said, "Look, Dak, I really want to win a Super Bowl. How about you?" I think Dak would have said yes. But man, we need some money, and I think he would have signed for less because he would have felt like they were sincere, and so would
right,
CeeDee Lamb. But instead, you wait to the week before the season, and now I want all my money. Now it's
right.
about me, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him or CeeDee Lamb. It was Jerry Jones, and that's it. Poorly
Bad
ran.
business.
Yeah,
Bad
bad
business.
business.
You
That's
bring
exactly
you
what.
bring Ezekiel Elliott back after you let Tony Pollard go, who was your premier back. You let him go to Tennessee. You bring in Zeke that didn't do anything for the Patriots. I don't understand where was the film, you know, but it's Jerry's guy, so he looks out for his guys. But they didn't make any Super Bowl decisions this season.
No, and they missed out on. Well, look, I understand about Derrick Henry. It's easy to
hmm
say now should have got Derrick Henry, but Derrick
Right,
Henry was. But it was $8 million, and on the pay scale, that would have been a chump change for him to gamble with one season.
right, right,
So I understand that. Well, you don't know if he was going to work out. That's true. Two is $8 million. He'll mess that off somewhere else. So it doesn't matter. But yeah, Jerry Jones. That's who. Hey, Cowboy fans, if you want to blame, that's to me that's the blame, because he is the head of the snake, um, and he controls. And he didn't give him he didn't supply. He put some stars on the field, but
right.
he didn't give them everything they need to truly have a chance at a Super Bowl.
Right.
That being said, next game is Buffalo Bills, the Dolphins. I told a lot of people to stay away from the game, or if you wanted the money line, I said because the Dolphins they haven't beat they. I don't think they've ever beat uh, uh,
No.
Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's 10-0. But that being said, it's always a tight game. Always, it's
hmm
just a tight. They play each other a lot. So they didn't cover the spread. They went on the over. That's why I said the money line was the action
Right.
game. The Bengals and the
Right.
Raiders. Uh,
Hmm.
the Raiders they're not where I thought they were going to be. I didn't think they were winning the Super Bowl, but I didn't plan on them being 2-7.
Right.
A lot of holes. Won't be surprised if they'll be making some moves. But
Yeah.
Burrow 5 TDs. one interception, 251 yards. Chase Brown ran for 120. Jamar Chase, he had 7 receptions. He threw it all over the field. They're 4-5. Hey, watch out. They could definitely make a playoff run. I don't know about Super Bowl, but they might be able to put it together to make it into the playoffs. And they covered. So I'm not mad at them there. All right. The Patriots and the Titans. Actually, it was an okay game to watch.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game.
And the Titans actually pulled it out in Tennessee.
I really think the Patriots. Yeah.
No,
go ahead. No, I was about to say.
Ahead.
I think the Patriots. I think they hit a home run with Drake May. He's going to turn out. He's going to be a good. He's going to be a good fit for them. Now they have to. Now they have to get the players around him. We know how New England works. You know, they're almost like a football factory too, or they used to be when they were in their dynasty era. Now it's the reset button. So now they got to build a team, around him, get him an offensive line, get him some weapons on the outside, get him a good young back, and I think they'll be on to something. It's going to take them some years to get back to where they were, but
absolutely.
I think if they get him the key tools that he needs, I think he's going to do great. I think he's going to be one of the good.
I agree. Like I said, they just need to work, to stay with something. Like I said, all this throwing people in position and okay, he didn't do well. We're done with him. But New England's far from where they were, obviously. Yes. And it's just going to take time to put him back to the way the league is set up now. It's it's tough trying to create the what you had in New England. Now, Kansas City is kind of copying the situation, but those are only one. It's one team in the whole league. So, but yes, I totally agree. And the Titans, Pollard ran for 128. They're going to have so much cap money at the end of the year, so many draft choices. They're just in a rebuilding stage, and they unloaded Henry. They unload. I mean, they made. And it's going to be a while. It takes rebuilding isn't done overnight. I mean, it just doesn't happen. So the Chargers and the Browns. I guess that one game for the Browns. I thought they were going to put a little bit more of a fight up.
Right.
James Winston had 3 interceptions. That back. I know.
And I hate that because he's a great guy. He's funny as all get out. And I do believe that the passion is there. But the talent's got to back up the passions. You can make all kind of clever speeches all day. You got to have some work put in to back that stuff up so they can believe and buy into what you're trying to give to them.
Absolutely. Like I said, he's still a work in progress. I think, like I said, he had 3. One of them wasn't his fault. The Chargers, again, they're becoming a very well coached team. The Harbaugh way. We're going to not make a lot of mistakes. We're not going to have a lot of penalties. And the Browns, like I said, they did beat Lamar and them, which was a heck of a win for them. But it's going to be a long year. I mean, they're 2-7. So the season's already half. Can you believe the season's already halfway done?
Halfway done.
Wait for it, and then it goes by us so fast. But going on to the Commanders and the Giants. Commanders jump out 7-2. The Giants, like I said, they're at the end of this year. I'll be surprised whoever's still left standing. I know they got rid of the running back. I mean, they did a lot. Barkley. I just, they're just in disarray. It's going to need a reboot. The Commanders are moving in a good way. This was, they only won by 5, but again, this is a conference game. They play each other tough. There was a lot of good. There was a lot of Jaden Daniels. He had no interceptions, but Daniel Jones didn't have any interceptions neither.
That's cool.
Jaden Daniels, I think, was 1.5 on TDs. He had 2, so he was a good prop. Like I said, it was a good conference game, and Washington is starting to put they're in the lead, and then the Eagles are right behind them, and the Giants and Dallas are starting to fade in the back. Not saying it's over, but I'm just saying it's you start losing. We're going into this is week 10. You know what I mean? I mean, you got. I mean, Ravens and the Broncos. I was a little surprised with the beating that they gave the Ravens, but the Ravens beat up on the Broncos. The way Sean has that offense set up, it's not explosive, and I think once they fell behind, it was, I don't know. How did you watch some of this one?
I watched some of it. I caught some of the highlights as well. It was a lot worse than what I thought it was going to be. I thought Denver was going to at least hang in there and give them, I figured the Ravens was going to win, but I thought it was going to be one of those tough wins because the Broncos had picked up a little mojo. But this game reminded us that the Ravens is still the number 2 team in the AFC right now.
This game did remind us that that's exactly what it did. Them coming off a loss, Broncos coming off a win. Broncos are moving in the right direction. Bo Nix will be fine. Coach will have them ready, and there's no doubt. And the Ravens defense. I mean, they look good, but I'm telling you, they're very suspect to somebody that can throw the ball deep. And the Broncos just weren't that team. It was a 9, I think it was 9-point spread, and I was a little leery of that. But the Jags and the Eagles, I was surprised that this was as close as it was.
I was as well. I thought that I thought Philly was going to run away with this one. The way that the Jags have been up and down this season, but I kudos to the Jaguars for showing up for that game on the road. It's tough to play in Philly, tough. But they came in there and they only lost the game by 5. But when you got a running back that is reverse hurdling players that go low to tackle, I mean, what can nothing with that? When you got a ninja for a running back.
That's right. That's exactly right. But yeah, and like I said, it's the Eagles in Washington. The Cardinals. I think the Cardinals exposed some stuff with the Bears. He needs a lot of
right. Arizona is one of them teams. I stay away from them on the betting, but they are one of those teams that play hard, that play better than they are sometimes.
Yeah,
because you would think they would beat the Bears by 20 points the way they've been playing football this season. Yeah, but I mean, I can't figure them out. Can't even explain what it is.
Inconsistent. They're one of the teams we talked about. I try to stay away from because you don't know which one's coming in. But they exposed a couple things on the Bears. They need to protect. If they don't start making some changes, I know he's won some games. They're 4-4. They're going to be in the same predicament they were with Justin Fields. Right. The Packers and the Lions had the Lions.
Man, and what a game!
And what a game! The over, but where I failed was didn't recognize the storm. It was pouring up in there.
Yes, it was. It was pouring bad in there. And kudos to Jared Goff because once we once we saw him, we didn't think we was gonna. Okay, he's a dome guy. He's not gonna do that well out in the elements. But he proved us wrong. He proved us wrong.
Proved us wrong. Detroit's a force. I'm gonna tell you why Detroit's a force is because until they blitz unbelievable. They play well as a team. They can be beat. It's going to take that special disciplined team, and he's balls to the wall. I'm going for it every time. He's almost
Right.
like stop us if you can. If you stop us, you beat us, and that's how he's
Right.
playing football. And they can be stopped. It's just not right now. I mean, not right now. The
Right.
Rams and the Rams and the Seahawks. The Rams went into overtime. They beat them. This was a really good game. And the Rams are
Yes.
starting to. The Rams are at 500.
Mm-hmm.
And Seattle's 4-5. They've suffered a couple. They lost to the Bills a couple weeks ago. They lost to the Rams. The Rams, like I said, they're making. They might be a spoiler. You know what I mean? They may be a. They may be a. They may be a spoiler for some people, knocking them out of the playoffs. They're a good team. They got some potential. I mean, like I said, they got some good players. Uh, they got a lot of great players, and just trying to get them all working. Everybody playing on the same page. They've
Mm-hmm.
lost a lot of talent over the years, but that being said, it was a really really good game.
Right.
Colts and Vikings. I will say this. Sam Darnold had 2 interceptions. He had 3 TDs. One was
Mm-hmm.
definitely not his fault. Joe
Right.
Flacco, one interception. One interception. He didn't play bad. I know some people want me to say that. Some people are like, "Oh man, he needs to give it up." And I was like, "Hey man, I still
Mm-hmm.
like Joe Flacco. He's still putting up decent numbers." And
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, I'm glad that you found a home. You guys are 6-2. Look,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have to take a break. We got to pay some bills, as they say. I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night. Tony G, Big Lou, number one station, KHAM Radio. And like I said, if you're seeing us on YouTube, just go to kham.com. If you're at your desk at work, 24 hours a day of great programming and shows like ours. All right, man, we'll be back. KM Radio, where we go.
Yeah.
It's your boy Tony G and Big Lou, the sports book, every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. KM Radio. Glad for everyone to tune in tonight. Really appreciate you guys. Going to be covering some stuff. Somebody had sent me some stuff, and they were like, weird. This is weird. You'll like this one, though. They're like, well, man, you picked the favorite. I was like, hey, I picked who I think. I mean, here lately, the favorites, the ones that we've picked, I mean, there's been a lot of, if you look at the favorite and then you go, here's a team that's pretty close, but they got a lot of injuries. How could you? I'm not trying to make miracle picks. I'm just trying to say about teasing the spread, what over. Stick with me. Don't make this more complicated than it is, guys. It's not that. Now, the first game, I know they make it. It's like, golly. Thursday night's game is going to be Cincinnati and Baltimore. Okay. Now, there is going to be some props on here. I would take Joe Burrow. Probably going to be 1.5. Definitely take that. I know he can throw. If you can get Derrick Henry, at 80 yards, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Take that. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of good prop bets on this. Maybe Lamar for. You just got to look at maybe Lamar running for over 20 or whatever it may be. Just a lot of good prop bets. But on this one, I'm going to surprise you. I like Cincinnati +6. I don't know if they can beat them, but I think they're going to keep it with. I think they're going to keep it close. I like Cincinnati, and I like the over. There's so much about this game I like. I'm betting.
Right.
I like the over. I like Cincinnati. I like Chase
Yeah.
anytime touchdown. There's all
Right.
kind of Derrick
All
Henry
kind of yeah.
anytime. Yeah,
Anytime touchdown,
I
rushing
mean,
yards, because Baltimore's secondary is suspect. So Burrow's going to get his passing yards. Jamar Chase is going to get some receiving yards too.
yep, yep.
So, so that's something to
And
look at.
Henry's going
I
to
can
rush for
show
some
that.
yards. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Lamar's going to rush for. I mean, this is perfect. There's going to be a lot of money to be made on this game. It ain't really about
Hmm.
who we want to win. It's just about the money.
Right.
Like I said, I like Cincinnati plus the 6. Maybe go in there, tease it a little bit. Maybe get Cincinnati plus 8 minus 155 somewhere in there. Now you're at 8. Um,
Hmm.
now you're a touchdown. You got the hook 7.5. So a lot of money to be made on this. But right off the top of my head, like I said, the prop bets you're gonna have to look. Gonna have to look at, and definitely pay attention to the weather because now we're starting to get that time of year. Like in Green Bay, my gosh, it was like a typhoon, and they still
Yeah.
scored some points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was yeah. It was a mess in there. It was a mess.
yes, it was. It was a mess. So anyway, top game 6.5. Like the over. New York. This is one of the games that me and Lou would be like, "Hey, stay away from this game." New York Giants, Carolina Panthers. I mean, what do you want me to analyze on this? Who's going to get the number one? I mean,
Right. Who's
yeah.
going to get the number one pick or draft pick?
I mean, if you
Both
got
2-7.
yeah,
Both 2-7. Carolina's coming off a win on the road. They're at home. If that helps some of you guys out there, they're coming off a win from one of their division rivals, and they're back at home. But they're playing against the New York Giants, which is pretty decent defense. They're kind of unpredictable to bet too, but they'll come through in the clutch sometimes when you need them to.
if I was on anything, I like the over 41.5. Um,
Hmm.
I like the over 41.5 um, on this. But yeah, it's just one of those games where you just got to go, wow, this could be a lot of nothing.
Hmm.
And I'm saying I like the over, and I'm not saying I'm betting it. I'm just saying I like it right now. I could switch it. And again, like I said, we had talked about before. Pay attention to your live bets. I'm telling you, there's so much money to be made on live bets because the line is changing, and you have to be able to analyze it whether or not it's the value. Um, Next game, Pittsburgh Steelers and Washington. What are you thinking about that, Lou? Washington
Ooh,
at home.
Washington at home. Yeah, Pittsburgh on the road with Russ.
Who's
Uh,
played pretty who's played pretty good.
he's playing. Yeah,
Gave
he's playing pretty good. Uh,
gave him the long ball.
defense. Yeah, defense is gonna show up for Pittsburgh. We already know that. They could try to get some containment on Watt. Then maybe they can do some things. But the Commanders believe in their quarterback, Jaden Daniels. He's been performing excellent so far. But the Steelers are a sneaky 6-2 team. They have
Yep.
it in them, and this is going to be one of the tough ones. I now my feelings are telling me that Washington is going to win this game, but I don't think they're going to win by a lot. But it just depends on which Russ shows up. If Russ shows up in the apron and the chef hat, then it's going to be a close game. If it's the let's ride Russ, not so much.
Yeah, if they can rattle them and that's what Russ has done. He
Mhm.
gave them that long ball, which loosens up the running game. And then this has got
Right.
a lot of props on this one. And that's the difference. Um, it depends. And like I said, on this one I would definitely pay attention to the injury reserve list. Um,
Mhm.
I do like Pittsburgh plus 3. It's not a final. I'm not saying I'm 100 on that. I got to go over
Right.
some. I like Pittsburgh +3. I think they're going to try to. This is a huge test for Washington, because Washington, and I tell you guys this all the time. In the weeks to come, we're going to find out who the pretenders are, and you could be a 10-4 team and be a pretender. We'll
Right.
find
Right.
out. We're gonna find out, and because this has happened to Pittsburgh, they've had winning records, but the first time they get in, kind of a pretender. Didn't have the long ball. Didn't have since Big Ben has been gone, the
Right.
quarterback play has been shoddy at best. That's something they just haven't had.
Right.
So Russ is giving them some options, but same time, Big Lou said it. Which Russ shows up, and that's what you gotta, and that's what you gotta. You have to understand that's where we're, and he's up there just like, um, Rodgers. These guys can get hurt. Anybody can get hurt.
Right.
But Pittsburgh now, the over under. That's like I said, I got to really look at this. I got to really kind of look at this. But right now, I'm picking Pitt -3.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go. Let me pull down 4, 5, 18. Next game, it's the Bills in Indianapolis. Looking at it from a strategic side, I think Buffalo. I think Buffalo is the team to beat. Like the Indianapolis is a good team that still just can't get on the right. I don't know. It's crazy. They got a lot of talent. Just haven't
Mm-hmm.
came up with the right formula. And believe it or not, I don't. I think that Joe Cool will have a decent day. He'll throw for 190 yards. Probably won't have a
Mm-hmm.
pick. Um, but they're going to have to keep up, because if Buffalo could put Amari Cooper down there and throw the ball, they're just going to have a hard time keeping up, because they're just not really designed for a shootout. That's why I'm
Right.
picking. That's why I'm picking the Bills. And again, guys, you got to look. Like I said, we're getting into that time of year. You got to look at, obviously this is in the dome, so it's obviously that's. But going forward, a lot of these places are going to have weather is going to become a factor. We're going to have to really pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to the weather. Speaking of weather, New England Patriots are playing in Chicago, so you need to look at. They got Chicago favored, which is understandable, and
Mm-hmm.
this should be Chicago should win this game, unless New
Yeah.
England just, yeah, they should cover the 6.5, maybe take the hook out of it, take it down to 6. But again, weather could be a factor. It could be rainy and cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little early for snow, but we're getting there. We're a couple weeks out on snow flurries.
Right.
But New England is a team that comes from the cold and bad weather. So I mean, and still it could affect your over, could affect the passing game. Um, that's one thing about that Detroit game yesterday. Detroit, I mean, as bad as the wind was blowing, he was still throwing the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. He was still
I,
making some throws.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I like the Bears. Um, I think, like I said, I think New England, they got some pieces, parts, and they're still trying to put it together to make a Jiffy Pot pie. That's all I can tell you, because it's still lacking. Um, they're not the New England of old, but
Yeah.
they're working. They're a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota Vikings, Jackson Jaguars. Who
Mm.
you like, Lou? They
Mm.
got Minnesota.
Who
They got Minnesota. They got Minnesota -4. I
Yeah.
mean,
See,
they got.
I
I
think.
mean, you.
I don't think. I do not think Doug Peterson has anything for Michael Flores defense,
I agree. I
and
agree.
that's why I'm going to go with the Vikings to win this game, because even if Sam Donald plays pedestrian, he's still they're still going to come with the victory because I don't think the Jags are talented enough anymore. That's probably one of the reasons why Sunshine is not shining like he should, and they don't have the talent. And I think the Vikings are still a contender with Detroit in that division.
I do. I do. I
And
agree.
I mean, they all are capable, but right now I'll put my money on Detroit and Minnesota as far as the two that comes out of that division. But they're not going to have anything. They don't have the talent for a Brian Flores defense. So
I
so
agree.
uh, it's going
I
to be a lot of
definitely.
three and outs.
I like Minnesota -4, just like you do. 7-3-5. Okay, I'm
Hmm.
just checking our time. Yeah, we both agree. Minnesota -4. Jacksonville, the weather should be good. It could be raining, but still check out your injury report. And this one is on you. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Saints. The Saints are only three-point dogs. They're playing in New Orleans.
Atlanta. Kirk Cousins on the roll. Uh, they had their offense set. Kyle Pitts is going to be a problem over the middle for the Saints.
Yeah, that's right.
Their running back is a beast, and he's going to wear them out. They're right now their motivation is not there. They're disarray with the quarterback, so mentally they're not going to be in it. Even though it is a rival with the Falcons, I think the Falcons are going to take it. They're a better team right now.
Yeah, I can't argue with you there. I mean, right now the Saints are. I hate to use the word disarray, but kind of disarray. I mean, they're in a
Yeah.
disarray.
Interim head coach, yeah, it's Atlanta all day.
And it is at home. All right. Tennessee, Tennessee Titans, Los Angeles Chargers. Um,
Mm,
Los Angeles Chargers at home. It's -7. You could work that. The Titans just don't have anything anymore. I mean, they got Pollard, and like I
hmm
said, I'm sure next year they'll be making a bunch of moves. But it's hard to, the Chargers are like I said, they're coming in the Harbaugh way.
hmm
Trying to play flawless football, and what I mean by flawless football, I'm not saying that they're. It don't matter about being great, but they're not having stupid penalties and stupid errors. No
Right,
offside,
right,
no 10. And I know that sounds minute to a lot of people, but those teams are not well managed. They have all those mistakes. They have all those penalties. And in return, that affects your investment as betting because it's like, oh, what did they do? Why did And the
right.
Chargers are, yeah,
And people, we also understand that penalties is free yards. That's just free
yes,
yards. You don't have to bang with the line or none of that. Those yards are free. So you got to clean that up. That's got to get cleaned up.
yeah. You saw the ejection we had last week. I mean,
Hmm.
so they're not playing about that. So
No,
those are bad mental decisions.
right.
But I do like the Chargers. I would like to tweak the 7.5 to maybe 6 or to 7. Get rid of that. Get rid of
Yeah.
the hook. Um, it's interesting. Over under 38. I mean, they have weapons. I'm gonna have to look and see who else is out for the Chargers because they used to be able to put up some points, but then the question is Tennessee going to put up any points? And
Right.
their offense has been okay. Um, yeah, but Los Angeles, I'm
Yeah.
looking. That's what I'm looking. Los
That's
Angeles. I
good.
like Los Angeles. Yeah. All right. Next game is going to be a defining moment for someone, and that
Hmm.
is the Dallas Cowboys in Philadelphia. Dallas playing at home. Dallas is getting +7. Uh, I've watched a bunch of Eagles games. I'm going to say this, and I know I'm probably going to catch a lot. I haven't been that impressed with them at times. I mean, they win. They win ugly. They won a couple ugly ones. Not really. Dallas can win this game. They can. I mean, they can. Now the question on this game is whether or not Dallas. Okay, is Dak going to play? Are they going to rally behind Cooper Kupp if he has to play?
Mm-hmm.
And mentally, can they get back into? Because to me, if they lose this game, I think it's the season is playoff. I think it's done.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just getting to a
Everybody's
point where
checked out. Everybody's checking out.
right. And I think I mean Dallas with 7 points, even though they've played. Like I said, I have to wait to see if Dak's going to play. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
against Cooper Kupp, but he's definitely not. Because Dak can put some stuff on. He can put some. He can make it throw the ball. He's got a big, strong arm. He can definitely make some stuff happen, and they definitely can make it interesting at the end. And like I said, they're getting 7 points. So, but like I said, I'd have to check this out and really see who's playing.
Right, because if Dak's not playing, Eagles gonna cover the blitz on Cooper Rush. They're gonna cover the blitz, all kind of different blitz packages to make him hurry up and cause turnovers or maybe fumbles. They're gonna try to get the offense off balance so that they can win this game in 3-and-outs and keeping their defense on the field and getting them tired so that Saquon Barkley can do his thing.
Right, and see that's the other thing. The Dallas is defense has been really suspect against the run, and you know, he could get off. He might run for 165 yards. Like I said, I have to see on who's playing.
Mm-hmm.
I may tweak it to 8 with the Cowboy. I mean, it all depends what angle you're going at. I think with the points, Dallas has got a shot, but I think Philly's going to be too much. But like I said, this is going to be a defining moment for the Dallas Cowboys because I think there's a lot on the line. It's not just this game; it's whether or not we're going to play to try to win. Otherwise, if they lose, I just think it's over. I mean, I just think it's over. They may have checked out because now you're going into the 10th week. I mean, you'd be going into the 11th week. I mean, it's possible. And and if Washington beats Pittsburgh, they'll be 8-2. You'll be 3-6, 3-7. I don't know. Definitely check it out on Sunday, but I do kind of like the over, and this is another one. Check out the prop bets for Philadelphia. Be some money to be made. CeeDee Lamb is out. I mean, they got a lot of. There is a lot going on here. All right, so that is okay. All right, so Sunday is the 10th. All right, just making sure. All right, we got New York Jets, Arizona. I like Arizona on their run.
I was gonna say that, Tony. If I was gonna say that. I was like, I like Arizona in this one. Uh, the Jets. I don't know if that Arizona team shows up like last Sunday. The Jets are gonna have problems. But I do think that Arizona can win this game. I think they can win this game against the Jets. The Jets have not shown me anything to prove otherwise. I expect for them to lose. They pulled out the victory on Thursday.
They did. They pulled out.
They
But this
pulled
is
out the
another
victory
one.
in that game. This is right.
It's another, and I know I'm making every week to be like it's the Super Bowl, but they got to make him. The Jets got to make a move too because they don't want to fall too far back behind Buffalo. And if they keep losing, and Buffalo's at 7-2, you're at 3-4. I mean, before you know it, you'll be at 4-6. You'll be at I mean, and then there's no way. And then and then they're having internal problems. They did win last. We'll see. I like Arizona at home.
I do too.
All right. Next game, Detroit Lions, Houston Texans.
Ooh.
Check the check your injury reports.
Report.
And I'm going to tell you that. So Houston, he don't have anyone to throw to. You don't have so Detroit, like I said, until someone can stop their balls to the wall play, fourth down antics, fake field goal, and what I mean that is when he'll stop going for it on fourth down if he keeps getting stopped. You have to stop him, and because he won't, I mean, you keep you keep putting him in bad field position and be able to capitalize. He'll stop, but he hasn't met his match yet, and that's. And I don't think he meets his match with Houston because they have so many injuries.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. And Detroit, I'm gonna tell you this, and it's no secret, not like I'm some special guy, but they're trying to cover up for their superstar that's hurt, that broke his leg. Man, they're blitzing. And whoever's going to beat them the day they get their butt tore up is the day that somebody has just enough time to got it. The blitz got it, touchdown. Because that's going to break the blitz. That's going to break the blitz. And he's blitzing. He's coming, and he's got that big fourth down or third down package. It's nothing more than tight ends and left tackles. You know what I mean? It's pretty like much. What is it? Yeah. And so I don't think like I said, Houston's too banged up. They may, but at the stats and what I'm looking at, to me, Detroit's the money. Detroit's the money. I mean, there's just not a whole lot you can say. And like I said, Houston has just got so many injuries, and he doesn't have anybody to really throw. They don't have a lot. They're not going to be able to put up a lot of points. And there's another thing you'll notice about Detroit is he does not let off. He does not let off. There's no, he's trying to score in every play. So he's trying to get his team to where we could sit back. You know what I mean? He's trying to score 30 on you. Yeah. He's wide open. He's playing wide open the whole game. And it's like, holy cow. And he will get caught. I mean, it's just, like I said, because that's how the league works. But I like Detroit -3. I like Detroit -3. Okay, the Monday night game, Los Angeles Rams, Miami Dolphins. Dolphins just lost a heartbreaker. And again, everybody's trying to make Miami can't. They're in the same. They can't keep losing and trying to win the division,
right?
Because they're falling deeper and deeper down. Los Angeles is at 500. They're at the stage where now we need to make our run for making the playoff.
Right. Because the number one contender has all of their key pieces are hurt. So
right.
If you want to get San Francisco, this is the season to do it.
This is true. So I like the Rams -2.5. Again, check out your prop. Check out your props on Tua's yardage, on LA's receiving. I mean, there's just so many props to be had. So much money to be out there. Well, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, me and Big Lou. Like I said, reach out to us, DM us at the Sportsbook Facebook page and KM Radio Facebook page. You can DM us. Someone will get back to you, someone from the office or someone from the station. We got you. All right, guys. Again, I want to thank Big Lou. Another great Tuesday night in the books. Coming at you right here on Ham Radio, where we go ham.
Damn.
Got it.
All right.
Cool.
Good.